Wine makes a problem looks. I'm kidding, guys. I'm not saying you should turn into alcoholics, but
and likely you have your parents, so you stay.
Yes, you know, just provide me with the basics, and then I will take care of the rest. I will try. You know, I'll meet you halfway.
Hey, what's up, how you doing? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Vic Aransani, and I'm not alone today. I got my beautiful friend, economist and policy analyst, Mandisa Xuba. And today, we're going to be reflecting on, as the title suggests, life after retrenchment. So, I decided to bring in Mandisa today because she has a really fascinating story to tell, and I hope that it can inspire you. So, make sure that as you watch this video, you subscribe, you like, and you share this video as much as you can. Let's confuse that algorithm to make sure that as many people as can see this video, just watch it. So Mandisa, before we go anywhere, introduce yourself to the people.
Okay, hi guys. So as my dear friend here has said, I am Mandisa Xuba. I am an economist and policy analyst by profession. I am based here in Cape Town, but I was born in the farms in Worcester. I am a mom, a proud mom to a 4-year-old.
Oh God.
And yes. So that's basically who I am. And yeah, this is literally my soulmate.
So the reason I had you here is because, one, you've gone through this whole situation.
Yes.
But also I wanted to make this video as sort of commemoration to Women's Day and Women's Month. This is August. So let's start it with a bang, with a powerful woman who's been through a lot but has done the most out of it. So before we get lost anywhere, let's jump into it. You went through retrenchment.
Yes.
How did that happen? When did that happen?
Yeah. So how I met Victor, we were working for the same company here in Cape Town. And a year after, I was so eager to obviously step into my field as an economist. And I had this fabulous opportunity for an economist position in Durban. And I never thought twice about it. And I told my friends, look, I got this job offer and I'm leaving Cape Town, I'm going to Durban. Bear in mind that I had just recently bought a house. And I thought it was worth the risk, you know, because I've always wanted, you know, this position and just to grow my career. Sadly, after a year, me being with the company, I got retrenched. And I think how can I put this? I was numb when it happened, you know, because I think I was in denial, and the fact that being a firstborn, it comes with a lot of financial responsibility.
That black tax.
So when I got when I received the bad news, I think I told my friends within a day or two. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And I think I fooled myself and I thought, you know what, maybe it's a break that I need more than anything. But little did I know that in the next few weeks or months, I actually faced a lot of financial difficulty. You know, I couldn't support my family the way that I used to before. And then obviously I had a son. Yes, his father is present, but I think I was more in the financial responsibility more than him. And yeah, so that's the sad part of retrenchment, you know, financially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally also. That's really, very daunting. But it's a different story right now. You know,
you've turned things around.
Yes. So I mean, coming back home after having this fabulous life away from home,
living in summer all day, every day, in Durban.
Yes, you know, but I realized that unconsciously I had I brought that to myself, not in a bad way, but because I've always wanted to pursue my studies further, do my master's degree. So,
as an economist should, because in this field you have to be very educated.
Yeah. And I was quite specific in my dreams. I'm sorry, in my prayers to God that, you know what, I want to have my master's degree, go abroad, do my master's for a year, come back and actually start my own firm. So when the retrenchment came and I was back home in Cape Town, I realized that this was actually a blessing. Obviously, the first 3 or 4 months of being retrenched, you don't really see things the way that I am seeing things right now. Everything is it's so negative. There's a lot of pain inside, a lot of emotional baggage that you carry around. But I think now, I'm in a better space than before because I've acknowledged that I did actually set this prayer to God that I want to be this individual, a game changer in this continent, an economist, have relevant trade policy analysts for everyone who's in trade. So now I am actually quite excited that I am in a better position. Not financially as yet, but I'm getting there. But career-wise, I think I am.
So in the space of your retrenchment,
yes,
in the few months where you basically went through a little bit of struggle,
yes,
looking for work,
yes,
not getting callbacks,
yes,
how did you deal with that? Sips wine. Sips drink. Let me sip with you.
Wine, Miguel. I'm so fortunate that I had a lot of support from my family. I've had their support since day one, firstly. And also I did like the fact that I was back in Cape Town and I could spend more time with my son. So that was great. But nothing beats prayer, I tell you. Because you can't always think that you can pass through a hard phase alone. That's just you need your God or whatever that you believe in as an individual. So I think my faith was quite strengthened during that period. And for some reason I was quite strict in terms of what kind of individuals that I have in my circle. I did a bit of spring cleaning in terms of, do I need certain individuals in my life?
Really?
I don't want friends who are going to, but again, this word, who are going to take my pain lightly. I think when I came to your place and I told you, Victor, I'm actually
how you told us. I remember that very vividly. I was at work and then we got together with another friend of ours and we went out for lunch. And then you sat us down and you say, actually, I'm in Cape Town. Because I was wondering, why are you in Cape Town?
Yes.
You've been in Cape Town for a few days. Because I guess I imagine that it's a bit humiliating and
I
embarrassing.
was really humiliated, guys, because, I've never had the chance to be a weak person. I'm always there for people who are weak, who are in need of a hug, advice. So it was quite daunting for me to be the one that has to ask that, Victor, you know what? I'm actually not in the best place to be at this point. So, did I tell you?
Yeah,
Via
so,
phone
no. It was, you sat us down, it was myself and the other friend, and we were having drinks, and you're like, so, this is the situation. And it was a bit awkward for me, because I'm like, oh, okay, so I guess we should handle the bill, because your finances right now are not going to be okay, so every cent,
does she have money for taxi?
You're fine, she use petrol, okay. So I guess it's good to make sure that you have supportive, sensitive friends during that situation, because you need to make sure that you are fine mentally and financially, and in every regard. So how did you deal with the hunting for work situation? Because what I've realized is that when you need a job seriously and urgently, it doesn't come.
So I made a deal with God and I said, you know what, for the next few months He forced me to actually go back to basics, going back to the drawing board. So I had my savings were literally drying up. And I was in a panic mode. Luckily for me, I had tenants in my house, so they could cover the bond. So what I did was I made a deal with my God and I said, you know what, for the next few months, I'm going to humble myself. I'm going to literally reinvent my brand. If I say I want to be an economist, I should act like one, think like one, and actually speak like one. So what I did was I only looked at job positions that were purely specific to what I wanted. So at bad days, I would actually look at an administrative position because I was in a tight financial position.
I think it's so important that you mentioned that, because the reason that we're having this conversation is because people are going through retrenchment badly, and people will go through situations where they're desperate for work and they can apply for anything. And companies, because of the situation going on globally, are offering jobs and at much lower rates. So at this point, people will be in a position where they devalue the organic value and take jobs for way less than they should be getting.
Precisely.
So, like you just said now, I would like to reiterate that it's very important that you remember your value and your dreams and just push for what you want and rebrand yourself, like you said.
Precisely, yeah. So I remember this one time, I think a recruitment agency did contact me for a position for, I think for like a junior economist, it's an entry position. And they were offering 3.5 thousand up to 5,000 rand.
Per what?
Per month.
Hi, bro, are you lying?
Not the hour. No, per month.
No,
Right?
lying.
And
No.
I thought, should I not? Should I? And then I went back to the prayer and the deal that I had with my God. And I said, I am going to hang on a bit longer. You know, just make sure that you provide me a home.
And luckily you had a home, you lived with your parents.
Yes, so I was lucky that I had a home. So I just needed a home, a bed, and meal. And that's just all I needed. And I told myself that, you know what, I'm going to stick a bit longer and stay unemployed for a few weeks if I have to, up until I get what I want and what God wants me to have. So yeah, so to fast track things at this present moment, I got headhunted by, I think a lot of you will know, the London School of Economics.
LSE, baby.
LSE. So they were they had a new online course. Because of COVID, they're now trying to move into online education. So they had this 10-week course, and because I'm a former student of theirs, they thought it's quite fitting that, you know, I join.
So let's just backtrack a little bit. So you have a history with the London School of Economics during the first job that you and I had together.
Correct.
You did a short course with LSE.
Yes.
What was the course?
It was in international relations and political economics. Yes.
So they had hunted you during this phase when you're job hunting and you're like in despair.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and they sent me an inbox on LinkedIn. That they would like to have a conversation or, you know, a call with me. I said, you know what, yeah, I'm quite interested. But just bear in mind, guys, in all of this, I did not and still do not act desperate towards the job. It's not a matter of being me having an ego, but is me trying to...
You know your value.
I know my value, and I'm trying to, you know, be what I want to be without sounding, you know, arrogant or anything.
No, I think it's extremely important, as we said in a few minutes ago. It's very important to know your value, especially when you've put in the work, you've laid down the foundation.
Especially when you have been retrenched. That takes a lot out of you as a human being. You know, you get humiliated, you feel humiliated. You know, it seems as if your whole life is just turned upside down. It might feel that way, you know, naturally. Hence, I said at the beginning that it's quite important to know who's in your corner, the kind of energy, the kind of friends that you have, family members. No one has to know about your sad story, if you should I call it. But have a few people in your life that will actually support you when you have dark days. Because you will have dark days. You know, you will fall apart. It's very natural. So as I was saying, so they contacted me via LinkedIn. We had a conversation, and within 4 days, I was employed for the LSE.
So just within 4 days, you guys had a conversation, and they wanted you.
Interestingly, I was just telling Victor a couple of hours ago that yes, I'm an economist, but I've always wanted to be in the policy space. So one thing I did after I got retrenched, I did my update, my profile update. I said economist. Whether I'm retrenched or not, it's not my business. I went to my update, my LinkedIn update, a profile update, and I said economist and policy analyst, because that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to be a policy analyst or even an economist. So interestingly, because I had a deal with God, and
I love that.
Yes. So the position with the LSE was to be an independent contractor in their new public policy analysis course. So now they thought...
So this was a new course, it hadn't existed before.
I've never been a policy analyst before, bear in mind.
Yeah.
But because I in the 6 months that I was unemployed, let's say, I took a course with the Tamambeki Institute to do a public policy analysis course, and for 6 months, and you know, so
I think that's
I was laying those.
You laid the foundation.
Yes.
I love that. So basically what I can say, gather from what you're saying is, during your time of your career plan, do what you can, do the most for the time that you can, sign up for a course online, take a short course if you can afford it. And also there's so many free courses. So if that's what you're gonna do to improve yourself for the next step, do that instead of just staying in despair. Obviously apply, but use your time to study a new program within your line of work.
Look guys, some of you, I think actually most of you are not responsible for being retrenched, right? Nobody is, right? But you are very responsible as to how you use your free time, because it's not very cute to actually how can I say it?
It's not cute.
It's not cute to stay bitter.
No, it's
not. Yeah. Because you will get that stage. It's quite normal. But know what needs to happen, and what needs to happen is you have to move forward. So with me, I thought, you know what, the first step into getting out of this depression mode is, let me take a course, something that will keep me busy. Not knowing that, I was actually meeting God halfway. I was meeting God with the agreement that I said, I'll do my part if you're gonna do your part. And so LSE did contact me, and now I'm one of their independent contractors in the public policy, department. And
that's just flipping amazing.
It's so flipping amazing.
And of course, a pound is flipping amazing.
And a pound is flipping amazing.
So life is good, money is good.
But because I was responsible for every part of the way. I didn't sit back.
You didn't sulk.
No, I didn't. I did sulk. But no one knew about it. But I made a decision that I cannot do this. I can't have my son going, facing, poverty. That's too massive. So, and then a couple of weeks ago, I applied for a forum called the Future Africa Forum, where they want individuals who are in Africa who want to be game changers or agents of change, something like that. And notably people who are well versed when it comes to economics, governance in Africa, and also in public policy. And I'm proud to say that Miguel is part of those contributors. So I am not only serving South Africa, I'm also serving Africa as a whole. So without us, deviating or from the initial topic, but retrenchment is not something that's quite cute. I won't even lie. It did turn my life upside down. Not only did I lose my job, I lost my apartment, I lost a relationship, I lost self-worth. And that's not something that I would want to go through again in the future. So it's quite normal, especially now. Remember, I was retrenched before COVID-19 happened.
So that was at the end of 2019.
Yes. And
when everybody else was fine.
Literally I went, and I remember it was on a Tuesday when I went to work, and they had an HR requested a meeting with me. And I thought, just one of those meetings. I said, Mandisa Xuba, unfortunately, management has decided to let you go. This is unfortunate. And bear in mind, they took me in because they wanted to build a unit, a special information unit for the company. And because I was the only economist with this company, I thought, this is long term. But
you felt secured.
I felt secured.
Which is actually, as you mentioned that, I'm reminded of this quote that I've heard, that corporates make decisions for the company. As important as you are with whatever you do, with all the skills that you have, at the end of the day, the business needs to look out for the business interest. So with the retrenchments that are occurring right now, businesses are making the best decisions for themselves to make sure that the market share is stable for the company, and the company is profiting and the shareholders are happy. So if that means having to chop off a few heads to make sure that they minimize costs and you are affected, it is what it is, but it does not define your life. It doesn't define your path. You have to make the most of your situation and move on.
Yeah. It sounds easy, like we sound heartless, like move on. But ultimately, you have to move on.
Yeah.
You know, everything has a timeline. You know, friendship have timelines. Relationships have timelines. So why can't a job have a timeline?
I like that you say that, because at the company that we worked at, I was extremely unhappy.
You were not unhappy, you were depressed.
I was extremely miserable.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
I had our manager spoke to me in a meeting. I think might have been speaking to me individually or to the whole group. But I made it very clear that I'm not happy. I didn't vocalize that I'm not happy, but they knew I was not happy. Yes. I knew that I deserved better. I knew that I was better than the job I was doing.
Yes.
I knew my value.
Yes.
So the manager said something very, very important to me. She said, if you're in this job now, it is where life wants you to be. And if you're ready to leave this job, then life will make it for you to leave this job. And I spent 10 months at that job and I left. And in the last few months, the last 4 months, my attitude had changed, because I had a conversation with me to let me know that, you know, you're great, you're amazing, you're talented. Yes. We know this, we acknowledge this. Yes. But this is where you are right now, and you have to make the most of the situation, because you being sulky and being miserable is not going to be positive for you. It's going to make your life miserable.
That's true.
Producing shitty results as you are now. You're producing shitty results.
I agree.
Because you're unhappy. You're not producing shitty results
I
because
agree.
you're not good, but it's because you're unhappy. So deal with what you're served with and make the most of it, so that you can be able to step up and move.
Yes.
So if life serves you with retrenchment, you have to make the most of it.
You have to.
So, because you're not going to be retrenched forever. You're not going to be unemployed. Nobody's unemployed forever.
Yes.
So that's just it. You just have to make the most of the situation.
Yeah. A lot of you might disagree, but I think retrenchment, or, you know, someone taking something from you, it makes you think outside the box.
Absolutely.
You know, it's cliche and all that. But, you know, I like what you say when your manager said, you know what, at this point, your job served your purpose.
Yeah.
And it did.
It did.
Right. You wouldn't be with this current company if you were not the previous one.
I wouldn't be the person I am if I wasn't where I was.
Precisely.
It definitely gave me like immense emotional intelligence.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So in my case, I've never had an economist position. So hence I left everything in Cape Town and joined this company.
Because it was important for you to be there.
Yes, because I've always, you know, I come from a very strong economic background, but I've never been an economist, and I wanted to be an economist so bad. So even though I was there for a year, I'm so grateful that I got that opportunity to actually be in the position and actually see how it is to be an economist.
And lay the foundation.
And lay the foundation. Precisely. So, you know, not everything should seem as death or end of the road, depending how you look at it. But it's very important to actually always go back to the drawing board and say, exactly what is it that I wanted to be at the beginning of this professional journey that I've started. It's very important, because without that, without prayer, without knowing who you are, you know, you might as well just stay in that depression mode. Yeah.
First of all, it occurs to me that I'm drinking this wine more than you are. So please don't judge me. She brought this wine. I wanted to point out.
During lockdown.
I wanted to point out we have abundance of alcohol here. So I wanted to point out that during your job hunting, in your situation, to highlight your lack of desperation, as much as you were desperate to be where you wanted to be, but you were not desperate to take anything.
Yes.
I remember you came to me.
It was not easy though. Let's highlight that.
Yeah. It's not going to be easy to be focused on the vision that you have for your life and your career.
Yeah.
But I remember this because it included me. So you were headhunted by a recruiter who wanted to have you join them as an analyst, as a quantitative analyst. And you actually met with the company.
I went for an interview.
You went for an interview and you thought it was great. It was a really amazing position, but you were like,
the money was good.
And the money was good.
Let me be honest, the money was good.
The money was good.
Yeah.
And you went and the interview was great, but you told them that this is not what I'm looking for. this is not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And you came to me, you said, I think this is ideal for you.
Yeah.
So this is what probably should happen to you as well. You have people come to you presenting things to you that aren't for you. So it comes back to you when you said, remember your value, remember your goals, remember everything that you have in your vision board to stay focused. So you came to me and you said, I'm going to email this recruiter to have a conversation with you because I think you're the ideal candidate.
Yes. And we fought with him. We were like, when I need a response in the next 48 hours.
Yeah.
You know, I think he was slow in response or something like that. I think I can't remember. But while you were fighting with him, I was fighting with him for you on the other side. Yeah. So that I actually felt slightly guilty regarding that because I went for the interview.
And you didn't tell us when you went for this interview.
The day I went for the interview was the same day I broke the news that I was retrenched.
Yeah, okay.
To you guys. Remember we had a lunch?
I remember, and you were busy like earlier before that.
In the morning, right?
Yeah, you're like, I was busy. I was like, okay.
It was the interview. So I went for the interview and, I think it was quite progressive in terms of just me and them being honest as to what they want, what I want.
Yeah.
And then an hour after the interview, and then I guess in between, I realized this is not what I want. And I said, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't think I want to be called for the second round of interviews because I'm not the right person for you. This job is not what I want. Remember, my savings were drying up.
Yeah.
Let's bear in mind. And I had to take the job, whatever. People's life situations are different. So I'm not going to say people should do what I did. But what I'm trying to convey is that I knew what I wanted and I was willing to be broke. So I think I said, you know what, I think I have the perfect candidate in my circle who will be quite fitting for this position. You know, he has a quite strong finance and mathematics and quantitative background, and so I guess in closing,
because I think we've spoken very broadly about this,
yeah,
it's very important to remember your value. It's very important, of course, to recognize your feelings and emotions and acknowledge that you are sad. It's not nice.
That's the most important part of it.
Yeah.
If I did not look, let's be honest, not everyone has a strong support system. Yeah. Not everyone has friends who really are truthful. And then you find yourself in a situation where you are going through a financial jam. You've been retrenched. Find something that's going to keep you alive up until something comes along, right? And in my case, I won't lie, I was quite fortunate that I had a strong family support. I had amazing friends that I could just share this pain with. But at the end of the day, the responsibility was on me because I had to make things possible for I'm not a child, I'm a mom. I'm a mom. I'm the firstborn. I'm part.
Black tax.
I'm a black test owner, not proud owner, but I'm a black test owner, holder. Sorry, and I had to come out of the desperation box.
I'm glad we had this conversation, and like I said, remember to hit subscribe, hit like, share this video as much as you can to make sure that we reach as many people as we can. Thank you for joining me on this conversation. I hope one day we can have another conversation to inspire more people and have people uplifted. It's very important that people recognize that there's so many things we can do with our lives, and we just need to stay focused on our dreams and our goals and make sure that we keep moving no matter how hard it becomes. So thank you for joining me, and thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.